Okay, all right, you guys. So it's week 2, day 4. Yesterday we actually talked about Python. We was, talked about more with automating things and web scraping and things you can do with Python that will definitely give you that 100K job that you're looking for. Today it's day 4. I want to talk about Kotlin Android apps, how to create an Android app. Now, I had it all set up to where, we would download my Android Studio and, create an Android app. However, that killed my computer today. So my computer just went way higher and it just, yeah, I couldn't open it. I couldn't do anything. I literally had to uninstall it to open up, the rest of my programs. So we can't do Kotlin. Now, I went ahead and was like, that's fine. At least I can give you guys some steps and we could just do like iOS apps because most of us have iPhones anyway. So whatever. Now, I don't have a Mac, I'm on a Windows, so I can't use the Xcode software. I have to use it on a Mac only. So that's fine. I I was just going to show you guys how to create, a virtual machine and install Mac and, work on Xcode for these iOS apps. But yeah, Xcode, the Mac OS software that I had. I guess it wasn't licensed anymore. I guess it expired. So yeah, I looked everywhere online for a bootable image. So if you guys were doing AWS or cloud computing somewhere with maybe Oracle or VMware, I don't know what you guys chose, but if you were, working with those technologies, which is cloud computing, then you know that you need a bootable image. You need a boot image, ISO file, and that's basically a software. That's the OS, the Mac OS. And it's in a file. It's in like, you can put it on a CD. Back in the day, we would have like CD-ROMs. So we have a CD with our Windows image on it, with our Windows software, and we just put it in our CD-ROM, and it puts the software on the computer. But nowadays, we don't need that. We have USBs, and then we don't even need that. We have files that's on the cloud. So I couldn't find either. I don't have a CD-ROM. I don't even have an extension for that. So that was out of the window. To get the USB, I still need a file, and I have to get that file. And the only way to get that file is to have a Mac device, or to just buy it straight from Apple, which I'm not going to do all that. So yes, I really can't show you guys the software where you build Android apps and iOS apps. That definitely let me know that I need a better computer. I got a newer computer from my work one that I was building apps on, and clearly don't get computers based off looks, because now I can't even, run the software. I would literally have to probably delete some things that I'm already using just to run it. So what we can do here is actually pull up our Visual Studio Code and just go over some Kotlin and Swift syntax, just basic syntax. If you guys are into building mobile apps like Android apps and iOS specifically, then you can get with me and we can go down that track, find a way to do that as far as downloading the software and doing everything. Or if your computer holds enough power, then definitely I'm going to send you guys some links so you can, try it on your own if you want. But if you're not into mobile app development, you don't have to download this software, because again, it low key killed my computer, and it may kill yours. It depends on what you're downloading. I download a lot of stuff, as you can see. I have Notion, I have Visual Studio Code right here. I have OneNote, um, Discord. Discord does a lot of resources, takes up a lot of resources as well. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't show you guys this. A YouTube probably will help, but again, if you want to do it, just reach out. I've done these at least twice, and I'm working on a client that I have to, deal with these technologies. So yeah. just reach out to me and we can work on something. So let's just, pull up our Visual Studio Code and really go over some uh, some syntax. Now, before we even do that too, I also, since it's kind of like a short lesson with just, Kotlin and Swift, I wouldn't say that's short, but, so I'm just giving you some basics. I definitely want to make this lesson all about GitHub, Git and GitHub. These are basically about source control. We will talk about that. And I think that that will basically tie up your software development knowledge. I think that you guys have enough of tools to be able to go out there and, land at least an 80K job, right? Because most of the time, if you're going out to be a developer, you need to know JavaScript, Python, HTML, and GitHub. Kotlin and Swift is just, if you're specific to Android or you're specific to iOS. If you do both, you can, use other things like Flutter or Dart, but we're not going to get too deep into that. And even databases, right? These things that you already know will get you that 100K job, right? And then GitHub, a lot of people don't understand GitHub or use GitHub, especially outside of an enterprise. So, you understanding at least the basics of GitHub, you are above, a lot of other folks. Okay. So that's our week. And then what I was thinking is Saturday, which is tomorrow, we can actually do a little deep dive in Python. I wouldn't say deep dive. I would say, go over the actual basics of it. You know how to automate with it. You know how to use Python to do what you want it to do, but you may want to get a little more in depth on the basics, with the functions and the methods and things and that such. So I'll go over that. If it, don't run too long, then we definitely can go over some things that like a review. If it don't go, too far, I could review week 1 and week 2, just so we're all caught up. Let's say it runs long, then Sunday, what we can do is actually save that whole day for a review. So we'll get on and we'll just literally go over these things just quickly that we've talked about to make it all kind of make sense some more. And then, start building out our projects, or since you're already working on projects, then that's just something we can do with tailoring your resume to those projects. Because week 3, next week, I really want to just hammer into applying to jobs. Like, I want you guys to really be working in projects like real life, and put that on your resume like right now, and apply to jobs like right now. Right? Like week 3 should just be all of just doing that. I want to save that for that. So maybe Monday, which is the end of week 2, we can do like Solidity, which is kind of the same as Python and JavaScript put together, but we could do Solidity. So at least you can have that language on your belt. And then, like I said, let's just hammer out these projects and let's get these jobs. At least we can be, interviewing and going through the motions. So by the time December come, we can be actually getting to, the interview process of like, oh, okay, I probably got this job. Maybe, maybe not, but you're further than what you were today. Okay. And then we'll just keep on going as the weeks progress. Week 4, I definitely want to make sure that you guys can see my work in real time. I want to show you some of the software that I use, like the ticketing system, and just things that I've learned what not to do and what to do with being in corporate and working for like these 500 companies. Let me see. I think we have a chat. Maybe have class at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Sure. If everyone agrees to have class at 6, let me see who's all on here. Oh, we got 10 people. Okay, so yeah, if y'all don't mind, we can definitely. Let me see here. Have class at 6 p.m. What's that, Saturday? Yeah, I'm not doing nothing. If y'all don't mind, then cool. If anybody object, say it now or forever hold your peace. Okay, cool beans. So you win, L. You win. So yeah, I mean, definitely just I'll be at a wedding, but I don't mind. Yeah, like I said, we will just really do a review of Python. And again, it's recorded, so you can always review it later on. But I just want to do again some basics. And then yes, we're gonna do our projects next week, and then I want to show you guys, give you the kind of tips that I've learned through my contracts. And being new in this industry, you know, I don't have 20 years, I don't have 5 years experience in this. Like, you know, like I don't. So at least I can shed, you know, my light as a newbie. And then week 5, we just still job hunting. What I'll probably do is this week we'll probably add in some speakers. I'll have some recruiters come in and talk. That'll just be that. Really nothing to really go over. And then last week, I'll probably change it. We still have guest speakers, but I'll probably change it to just like probably like a blockchain week. We'll just do like a whole bunch of just blockchain stuff. I'll just do like a dump, blockchain dump on you guys. Because I've been working on a lot of projects. I've been working on some metaverse projects, creating NFTs. Like I've been doing a lot. So I can just dump that on you guys and see what you do with it. You know, because these are the tools that I'm giving you, and I want you guys to use those tools as you see fit. Okay. I can't tell you how to really, you know, use them. I mean, I can tell you how to use these tools, but I can't tell you how, you know, it will be beneficial in your life. You know, so you have to work on that. You know, so pick out projects. I got so many projects, pick them out and start working. You know, even if you just any, mini, miny, moa project, just to get you started. I try to update assignments as much as I can. So we got Python and APIs. Maybe you like Python, maybe you like APIs, put them two together. Maybe you are into trading. Why don't you build a bot? Because you know you do have to use your own technical analysis. Web scraping, right? Like that's always something good. And crypto, why not web scrape something on the Web3 realm? Blockchain, database, build your own databases, cloud engineering, you know, so pick something. Like, I don't know what else to say. Just start picking something. Web development, build some websites, something, because you need to add something to your resume. You can't just say you know it. Okay, they were like, okay, and you know the syntax of JavaScript? How does that help you? How does that help me? But when you say, hey, you know, I built a website and I added a couple of this, I added a video, I added a this, you bold that, and they're like, oh, well, okay, cool. That's how you can help me. But anyway, let's go in. Where is my Visual Studio Code? And let's pop it up. Now, before we even go in to this lesson, any questions, comments, concerns, or anything? I like to give y'all the floor. In between, okay, no, cool. So as we know, we get a new file, new text file, and we're going to choose a language, and we're going to choose Kotlin. Maybe. Let's see. Where's Kotlin? I don't even see Kotlin here. So that means that I would probably have to use plain text because I don't even see Kotlin here. So that means you can only, hold on, do I see Swift here? Oh, Swift is here. So Swift for iOS is here, but I can use Dart. Dart is just like, you know, another way to make mobile apps, both Android and iOS. Dang, they ain't even got Kotlin. They must have took it out because I've been using this. Visual Basics, TypeScript. Yeah, they don't even have Kotlin. Okay, so let's just go into Dart. That's just something, again, we're just using it to look in our stuff. Actually, I could just stay in Swift until we don't have to keep adding different ones. All right, so Swift, but we're gonna start with Kotlin. So Kotlin, oh, let me see, shift, oops, let me see, there we go. See, maybe you guys can see that a little better because I know it'd be small sometimes. Let me control, let me do it one more time. Okay, Kotlin. So Kotlin is a programming language, just like, Python and JavaScript, the rest of them, but it's specific for Android apps. So if you want to develop an Android app, you would have to understand Kotlin programming language. Kotlin is kind of the same. What I kind of kind of make things come together is the languages kind of come the same. They just have these little tiny, intricates where they're, different because they want to, they're a different language, so they perform in a different way. So me, it's like all of these languages are like, different types of English, so you have, when you're in the southern state, you got different type of English. You have in the northern states, or west in California or something, like we all speak English, but yet certain words mean different things depending on what region you are in the country. So that's kind of how I look at these programming languages. Like they're all kind of the same to me. They just have its own little caveats. So just to give you guys, like, again, just a little basic, I don't want to go too in, but with Kotlin, you have things like this code, like a function that you have to start off with, and it has to be some type of main function. And just like in JavaScript, you would have your curly brackets, and those curly brackets mean your body. So whatever is in your body is what's going to be displayed when you call upon your function. So again, it's kind of the same as JavaScript, right? But it's JavaScript, you don't have to put fun as the keyword to say function, nor do you have to say main, right? You just name the function, okay? But it's a little different with Kotlin. So, you just have your name, whatever the name is, and you have your, whatever it is. This is empty because whatever, we could put whatever in it, but let's just say it's some type of input. And then what do we want in our body? And our body is really our, what we want to have, what we want to print out. And we can say something as simple as print, I think it's IN, or maybe print line, or print line. Let's just say print line. And we're gonna do a string, and everybody should kind of be a little used to this, hello world. And literally, that's all I need to say. And let's say I want to call upon that. I would literally, if I want to execute it, I could say something like main and then enter, and it would print hello world. Okay, again, it's the same as JavaScript. It's just, you see print, we don't use print like that in JavaScript, but you do that in Python. But you have to use the N, I think it's LN. Let me Google that, because that's gonna drive me crazy. Where we at? Computer science bootcamp. So is it LN or IN? Because sometimes I get them confused. Print in. Oh yeah, because that's what Java. So maybe you can do print in. Oh, you can't do print in JavaScript, but it's not. Oh yeah, you can't do it as a method. So yeah, it has the same, just a little different, and that's where, again, you just Google the syntax of what you're trying to do. Oh, basic syntax. Let's come here. Exactly. So what is this? This is, yeah. So it's line, print the line. That's what it's saying. And yeah, I'm gonna send this out. This is good. Let me send this in the Discord. Good to learn the syntax, because again, they're all the same. It's not like you have to know every single syntax it is or exactly how to set it up. You just have to know, you know, the little bits that it is different. And okay, you see this, when you see something like this, you'll be like, okay, well, maybe this is not Python. This does look like JavaScript, you know, low-key could look like, you know, Solidity. But just that you can, you know, differentiate that, like, you know, it's not HTML, you know, it's not Python. So that's kind of like where you should be with this, right? Don't try to memorize every single code, okay? Just know, as a developer, we are trying to build things. We want to make things work. So just like I showed you guys in the JavaScript, or just going back to, you know, Python, you know, all we're trying to do is read a file. We're trying to create a new folder. We're trying to only get these P's instead of the F's. We're trying to make a user click a button. We want to, you know what I'm saying? We want to, so many things. What do you want? And now that you know what you want, what are the what is the syntax that you need to make that happen? And the problem solving comes in with, oh, is, you know, the quotations, are they the same? Is it a body? Do I close my curly brackets? Do I put something in this function? That's where the troubleshooting comes in at. And that's, I mean, the problem solving and troubleshooting. But you don't get there until you start to build, okay? So I don't want to get you guys hung up on, oh, this is a syntax of this, and this what you do with this, because, I mean, you could do whatever. But yeah, so this is kind of like, you know, what it'll look like in Kotlin if you want to have a function. And again, we have our name, the function, name it, put some input in it, and this is the body. The body is in between the curly brackets. Okay. And again, JavaScript, curly brackets. You need the something in that body. Okay. I mean, the math is the same too, you know, like if we do 2 + 2 and stuff, if we want to add a you know, variable, say the keyword var, and you can use, I don't know, you can say name equals, and maybe we can say just, we could put it in string too, you know, I don't know, so many things. It's kind of the same. I don't want to go, again, there's no need to go too deep into it because it's kind of the same thing, variables, you know, just again, the keywords are a little different, and that's when you want to start building an Android app. So that's Kotlin, right? It's specific for Android. And that's kind of what it will look like in a sense. And I sent you guys something in the Discord so you can kind of go a little deeper into it if you're on that path of mobile app development. Okay, and I'll probably give you some more resources on mobile app development using, you know, Dart and see, my computer's already going slow. Dart and Flutter. Okay, there we go. So let's talk about Swift. Okay, so we have Android apps, and the other thing is we have Mac, we have Apple, not Mac, but iOS. And iOS, we know Apple is so proprietary. They like to have their own thing. They like to, you know what I'm saying, do their own thing. So they have, obviously, you know, their own language for anything running iOS, iPad, iPhone, iPod, whatever. You can only use it on Mac. That's why I cannot show you guys. And again, it was something I was just gonna also show you guys how to create a virtual machine. And if someone could find me a bootable image of Mac OS, then I could definitely do that for you guys, show you how to create a virtual machine. I create them all the time. I can create them with my eyes closed. And that's called system admin, system engineer, easy 120K salary, right? Also building it and also like managing it on an enterprise level. So just when you just building it, just me teaching you how to build it, probably will be like, you know, 80K, 70, 80K, because that's probably like entry level, but managing it, monitoring it on an enterprise level, then yeah, that's double that salary. So yeah, I just need a bootable image and I don't have one. But anyway, Swift. So Swift is, you know, the programming language for iOS. It's kind of the same thing as other languages. This is, you know, this is a comment, right? We can make comments the same as, you know, anywhere else. Print is kind of, you know, universal. Print hello world. Variables, right? Could say a equals, put it in a string, a equals just. Let's see, and that's really it. You know, you can do the same thing almost with Python. How you make it, you know, print. You can make it print 1 + 1. Like you can, you know, and Python is going to print 2, and Swift will kind of do the same thing as well. I think it's kind of the difference really is for me is just a little bit of how you import things. I mean, of course you can import, well, you would do this at the top, but again, I'm just showing you guys just random stuff. But you can import Swift, which is that module. But again, I don't have a Mac. Since we're not on a Mac, it imports a different way. So, you know, I can't really show you, but that's really like the only thing. It kind of just, you know, looks different when it's importing. Variables, we did variables are the same. You know, if you do, I think with Java, I think we kind of brushed over a little bit over in the live class, but I know for sure if you watch the JavaScript course, then you know more about the if and else. And, you know, it's kind of the same. You know, if we have if A strictly equals B, right? And we're gonna put it in a body, curly brackets. And that body gonna say print, let's say yes. And then another thing, another loop or else, and another curly bracket, and we can put print, because what's other than yes, right? What's if this or else what? No. I mean, we could put maybe and some other stuff, but let's just say no, keep it simple. And then, you know, let's just say, well, we have to do this first, but we would create a variable. We already did create a variable, A equals just, and then we'll put B bar, B equals, I don't know, let's just say just. So does A strictly equal B? You know, that's what this code is saying right here, which is the same in JavaScript. We went over this already. And let me come up here so you guys can see. So it's basically if A equals B, print yes, or if it do not equal B, print no. So if I was to run this code, what do you think it would come out as? Is A strictly equal B? So this A variable equals this B variable equals this. You can kind of figure out right here what it'll equal, you know. And of course, and again, this is just little pieces of code. You know, as you start, you know, really building your own app and stuff, you're going to get down. I mean, you guys kind of was doing HTML, so you kind of know you probably got like 50 lines of code already. So, you know, you could just imagine like, dang, reading it, going through it. So that's why it's important to put comments. So you can say, you know, separate your code and say, comparing A and B, right? I don't know, but you know, so you can read it, and then you can say right here, like, I'm going to import Swift, and clearly, let's just say this would always be at the top, right? Just to again, code. I should probably show y'all in order. I'm out of order, but whatever. This is code readability. So you will be like, I'm going to import Swift first, and then I would come here and say create variables, and then I will put, you know, close that variable and open copy. I already did that variable. Okay, and I would be like, let me space it so it looks prettier. So I would import Swift. So if you're reading my code, you know, I'm going to import Swift. I created, these are my variables. So you ain't got to say like, oh, well, it's the bar keyword, so it's a variable. I'm telling you right now what I'm doing in this piece of code. And then, you know, I'm just saying this is a comment. Let's put this, let's take that out, because that was just jargon. I was just showing you guys. And then after I create my variables, I want to compare my variables. Comparing, let's say comparing variables, you know, because we're writing code and someone else is going to read it. Comparing variables, and then we can say, I don't know, random comment, you know, or you can actually break it down. Random comment, I don't know what else. And then you can, I think you can go down here and boom, that's your comment. Hold on, I think you gotta put it, I don't know how to write a double line comment. Y'all know. Line comment, multiple. It starts with the little asterisk. So see, I'm so used to Python. So it's this way. So if I want to double the lines, so I would have to do this little asterisk and this backspace. So let's do that. Backspace and then the asterisk. So I would have to take that out, do an asterisk, take this out, and do an asterisk. So you see, now it's all green. So it shows me that this is a comment, meaning that it will not execute when I run my code. It is here only for readability for the coders, for the developers. So yeah, see how, you know, nice and pretty that looks? And that's what jobs are looking for. They're looking for, do you know how to write code pretty? Why? Because there are going to be thousands of lines of code. And imagine you coming in and you're like, oh, well, let me see what happened. Actually, real life scenario. I'm working on this app for my client. And I'm like, oh, okay, let me look at the code. Let me look at the source code. And I look at the source code and it's just, it's a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm like, wow, I don't even know where to start, you know? Yeah, I start by learning the language, but yes, it just looks better, you know, and I can just read it easy. So I want you guys to take that, if anything, from being awesome coder, awesome in software development. Please, please make your code readable. And that helps you too with troubleshooting and knowing what you're doing so you can come back. And that segue us into GitHub and Git, right? So let's kind of talk about Git and GitHub. Now Git, let me pull up Git. No, hold on. I had a link somewhere. Let's do this here. My computer is running so slow. I'm gonna probably have to uninstall some things. I did install some things for this lesson because I don't use it that much, so I had to reinstall it. But whatever. Anyway, let's just go into it really quick. So Git and GitHub. Let me close this out. This little thing is clicking in my way. I don't know if you guys can see that. Click it down here. Okay, so Git is you know, for source control, version control, you can say. So when we have our code, let's bring up our code, and we want to say, again, let's say we're just building an app. So obviously it's not gonna have 20 lines, probably gonna have 2,000 lines or 20,000 lines, whatever the case may be. And we're working on it. It may take us a year. And if we're literally just only using this Visual Studio code, we can kind of get confused about our code. And let's say that somebody wants to help us and you know, say, hey, let me show me your code. So let me see what you have going on. Maybe I can help you, whatever roadblocks you have. And again, I'm gonna use a real life scenario. My roadblock was geolocation. How do I add location services? So I want to share this code to, my colleagues. How do I do that? Now you can save file, save it to your file and then send it, your email, Google Drive, cloud, wherever you want to do it. But there's a way where it's easier for all the programs, for all the developers together to share code with each other, troubleshoot with each other. And specifically in an enterprise setting, they use Git and GitHub to, like I said, share code, right? It's just a version control software, and it's there to help your code, help you build software in a controlled way. So let me go back to where we're at. Okay, there we go. So a lot of people like to say that Git and GitHub are the same. They're not. GitHub is a, oh, here we go. What's the difference between Git and GitHub? GitHub is the tool, and Git is the tool. GitHub is the extension, right? It's where it's like a library of things, where Git is the actual, software tool where you're going to control your code. And again, when I'm saying control your code, that means that you're keeping a history of your code. You can add changes, take changes away in a very organized, intelligent way than just doing it in Visual Studio Code. If you just, working on your own projects, that's fine. You can, just use what you have been using. But as you start to become a real developer, a real engineer, you are going to want to collaborate with other folks. It just, outside of you just, being in your own bubble. You're going to collab with other coders. You're going to collab in your job. You're going to collab just period. And this is how you collab. This is where we all collab. We install Git, and then we create a GitHub account, and we do what we need to do in Git, push our code up to GitHub, and then whoever across the world can use GitHub, look through it, look at our code, or ask to, see our code if it's private, go through our code, make their changes, send the code back, and then we can, if we want, we can, add that to our main code, or just keep it on the side as some type of, little project or something, right? And again, this is really good for you since you've already been coding, HTML, CSS, Python, a little bit of Kotlin and Swift. And then we're going to go into Solidity. So with all this coding going on, how do we keep control of it? And how do we share our code with others without sending them a text file? GitHub and Git. Okay. So, and again, they are not the same thing. That is kind of the biggest thing people think they're the same, just because, it's GitHub and then Git. They're two different companies, two different people, came out two different times. It's it's all that. So the first thing you want to do is always create a GitHub account. I should send this in the chat. Why is my computer running slow? I'm already signed into mine. It just has me automatically there, but this is kind of what it looks like on the forefront. But I'm going to send you guys that, and why is it moving so? I'm sorry, guys. I gotta wait till it load up. Okay, there we go. Put it in. Oh, hold on, bootable image. Not you just finding me a bootable image that quick. All right, so yeah, let me I'm gonna look back at that. Okay, I appreciate that. That was quick. And it says results. It says free. Yeah, I'm see what's going on, because I was trying last night. I'm like, dang, my thing don't even work. And so I was trying today, and it just didn't pan out. So so appreciate that. But I definitely sent the GitHub. Go ahead and create an account if you can right now. If not, that's totally fine. You can do it after this lesson. So you create your account, and again, this is where this is the open place where we, share our code. Okay, and then definitely install Git. Let me come here. Git It tells you how to install it. So you guys who've been using Linux, here's how to install that. If you are using Mac, here's how to install it Mac way, and Windows, okay? I use a window. I do not use this download. I actually use Git Bash, Git for Windows. And let me pull it up here. And then let me send this out to you guys so you can, I'm just gonna send the links as I come up with them so I don't forget. And then I can always add them to the Notion later when I upload the replay. But at least you guys got it now and not later, because I probably will forget. But anyway, so yeah, so you install Git. And again, Git is this software tool where you are going to, create folders of your file and versions of your file, and you can share your file, and your file is equal to your code, okay? So we're gonna make our GitHub account. Simple, is free. Put in your email, put in your password, whatever you wanna do, and create it. Then you go ahead and install it. Again, these are the 3 ways you can do it. I don't use, I could use Git for Windows. I don't use this Git download. I use Git for Windows, which is separate. And it's basically, it's just made specifically for Windows. It's called Git Bash. It's made specifically for Windows instead of going into my shell, my terminal, my PowerShell. And that's because Git is based off of Linux itself. So, if I was to just run it in PowerShell, some of the commands would be a little different. So instead of like knowing like, okay, let me change it to this, let me change it to that, I kind of use just Git Bash. The commands are a little still different, but it's kind of gives you the same feel. Actually, I have Git Bash right here. Oh my gosh. Pull it up. So this is Git Bash right here. It looks like a terminal, right? Same old same. It's just, again, it gives you the feel of Linux while working in Git, because again, Git is based off of that. So you have your, let me put this down. So you have your GitHub account, you install Git, and you have a terminal, install Git, this terminal, I'm using Bash, right? You can use anything. Let me send out a link. I think that you guys, I have Hyper, you guys who are into building the APIs, Node.js, React and such, I think you should use this terminal because it kind of goes in tandem with Node.js. So it just helps you better with your code. If that's what you're on. And again, it's a terminal, just like PowerShell, just like freaking Git Bash, right? It's just a terminal, a different type of terminal. All these terminals are different depending on what you want to use it for. So I recommend this terminal if you are working on the APIs, the JavaScript APIs specifically. It's just better. But yeah, let me close that out. And Git Bash, yes. If you're on Windows, you can, and you're not doing anything with web development, just download Git Bash. And then you have your Visual Studio Code, right? We should already have that downloaded. And yeah, that's about it. Again, Node.js, if you are doing web development stuff. Again, this is source control. We're just sharing our code and controlling our code. So if you are coding something that deals with web development, you should have Node.js downloaded in some sense, or React or Angular, but Node is kind of what we're kind of been talking about since we're on that decentralized type feel. Okay. All right. So we have our Git account. We have that. Let me go ahead and bring up my Bash here. And all right. So working with Git, it's like working in Linux. So if you guys been doing your Linux thing, then this is kind of the same that we've been working, right? You kind of already know. So to basically with Git, we have you have things like a comment a commit, not comment, but a commit. It's spelled COMMIT. And that's basically like a message, like a checkpoint. It's a message to say, hey, this is what's going on with this piece, with this file or this piece of code. Because again, we are sharing our code. So I may share something with you, and then you may see like, girl, you missing a semicolon. So then you may put the semicolon in, send it to me, or you may just tell me to put it in, and I put it in, and then I save my code because this Git is saving a history of everything you've done with your code. And that's good for projects. If we're working in an enterprise and we're all working on an app to build an app, we want to know who did what, and where. Like, I don't care what you said, what I'm looking at the logs in the computer. So this is how we log our stuff as a team. So commit is saying like, hey, I put the semicolon in, and then I uploaded the file. I changed the code. And so I would have to add some type of commit to say that, and the commit would be something like commit something message, and I'll probably say like added semicolon, something like that, semicolon to line 54. I'm just making up stuff, so whatever. But you'll do something arbitrary, whatever it goes to whatever. So that's, what you will use a lot, commit. Another command that you would use is branch. So we got commit, branch, or branches. Or I think it's branch. I use branch. And that's just kind of what it sounds like. It will give you like a separate instance to code. So let me give you a real life example, because that's really all I can do right now. So we have this app, we're building this app, and that's the tree. So let's say that the app is cool. They already have the code, everything's good. But since I came along in the project, I'm thinking of adding, like I said, we want to add member accounts, but they don't have member accounts already in the code. So I would create a branch of, I don't know the exact code. I probably got to look it up here, but it's like branch, message or something. Or branch, you got to put your name, something with a branch, and you'll put the name of the branch. And let's say that I'm adding, what did I say? Member accounts, member accounts, and I really shorten it, member accounts. And now I'm in a separate instance to where I can play around with code and add this member account to it without messing up the main code that's in production already, or that's already, approved by the owner who owns the code, right? I just have a branch, I'm branching out, and I'm building something that's member accounts, web page. I'll probably name it very specific. I don't know, but it'll be a different web page that's member accounts. And this is where I'm adding my code to create member accounts with. And again, I'm testing things out. And this is, I'll probably say like my first. So obviously I wouldn't want to just put my code into the main code, like we don't just, put our stuff just into the main production code, into the code that's already deployed. We have to first test it out. Some of you guys that are going through, blockchain development, you have mainnet, which is the Ethereum main network, or the main network of that blockchain. And then you have test nets. You have Rinkeby testnet, where you can deploy your smart contracts, but it's just not on the main net. One that's free. You just need some like, fake ether to, deploy your smart contract on a test network, so you can see how it would possibly behave on the main net, on the real blockchain, because you can't change the blockchain. Once you deploy your smart contract on the blockchain, that's it, that's over with. Whether you use it or you don't use it, it's there forever. There's no changing. Well, you can change it in a sense, but, and it's, saying the transaction is the transaction itself, you can't change, right? So that's kind of like, here, if you want to, deploy something, you're going to deploy it in a test way first. And that's kind of what a branch is. Different versions of the main code, you can say, right? That's the only way I can really explain it. Hopefully you got that. And I think merge, we probably won't talk about merge too much, but that's something I should just bring up because I had to do it before. So merge or merging is, merging. You have to That's when you sync your branches, right? So again, let's say that that members account branch, that members account web page is actually pretty good and it looks good and the code is good and it runs good and you know, the interface, all that stuff. So now I actually want to, you know, deploy it to the main code. Then I would use merge, where I would use the merging command to merge my code to the main code. And that's really it, you know, as far as what you really have to keep into your brain to do. Yeah, that's really it for real. So let's go ahead and kind of go through those commands so you kind of see what it looks like in real life. Okay, so you guys, let's just say you already have your GitHub account. Let me go to my GitHub so you can see it really quick before we get into it. Where's GitHub? Close this, close that. We're done with the basics of Swift. I sent that to you. Okay, GitHub, cool. So as you can see, again, this is just the home page. Maybe I can click. No, we ain't gonna click too much. I wanna click as we go along so you can kind of see how things get uploaded to GitHub from Git and then from GitHub to Git. That's kind of our main thing here, okay? So the purpose is we're in Visual Studio Code, we have our code. Let's just say this is our app that we created. And let's go ahead and save it. Save as. And we're gonna save it on our desktop. I like to save stuff on my desktop. And let's just say it's our TS app. Let's call it a tech app. Okay. And I mean, we can always save it with the extension Swift, you know, but most of the time, you know, it has the intelligence to save it, whatever the file's always going to read it. But just for redundancy purposes, we can name it Swift. Again, whatever language you're in. So we save it. That's where we want it, on our desktop there. Cool. So now let's go ahead and get our bash up. And sorry, it's loading a little slow here. Now, what we want to do is get what's called a repo or a repository. We're going to initialize that. And basically that's just saying that, hey, Git, I want you to start looking at some docs because I'm about to start adding some docs to you, adding some files to you. Okay. So the first thing is obviously, where did we save it? We saved it in I saved it on my desktop. You save it wherever you want to save it. So we kind of went over this yesterday, but I'm going to go through a little more. We have to change our directory. So CD, change directory. I'm desktop. It's up here with bash. It's up here with bash. Let me do control plus. Maybe you guys can see that more. All the way at the top. So I'm just in my local, my users, Jessica. So CD, what did I say? I'm in OneDrive. Enter. Okay, so now you can see I'm now in the OneDrive folder. I need to change my directory again. And I believe I was on desktop. I like to save all my stuff on desktop. And now I'm in my desktop. Okay, so what I should have did is I should have put that in my folder. But regardless, so I'm going to, let's say, add a folder. And I want to add a new file. A new file. Let me see what on this desktop, what is it? Is it on my, where's my Visual Studio Code? Okay, so techapp.swift. Okay, so on my new one, let's just create a new folder because I don't want to do anything on my desktop and then we can't find it because it may be in the back end. So let's do make a directory, mkdir, on the desktop, and let's call it the tech app folder. Let's just call it I should do camel case, tech app. Okay, boom. So now we are in the tech app folder and we can do list. And as you can see, oh, we're not in the tech app folder. We just made that folder. Let's change directory and go to, let's change directory and go to tech app folder. Now we're in the tech app folder, okay? I just didn't want to create anything on my desktop. I think it's best too, if you use your desktop to save everything, to actually create a separate folder to work within it. Don't just save a whole bunch of files to your desktop, actually create a folder and then save those files to that folder that's on your desktop, if that makes sense. Again, it makes sense for me because I don't want my files just all over the place on my computer. So I kind of, yes, I'm on my desktop, but specifically I'm in a folder on my desktop. And it'll automatically create. Anyway, so I'm in my folder that I want to work in, that I want to create. I want to initialize a repository. And a repository, again, is just saying that, hey, I want Git to start noticing. I'm about to start using Git. I want to Git to start noticing these files. So let's go ahead and initialize Git. Let's always start with Git initialize, int, or int. Let's do it. Let's do that. Okay, boom, yes. So initialize is empty, and right here is your repository. This means a repository. So the folder .git, boom, I have made a repository now, so boom, first step is done. You have created a repository. Now what we have to do is add something in this repository. So we have the folder. Obviously, we just created this folder. There's nothing in this folder. There's nothing in a repository. You can kind of see that. I think you can do git status. Yeah, so there's nothing in here. It's not even saying anything to track. They don't even have anything. And we can even look in this tech app folder and do list, ls, and you can see that there's nothing to list. Okay, so we want to add something. First, let's just add something blank. Let's just say we didn't have anything. You can use, I think it's touch is the keyword. Touch, let's say blank file and .txt, whatever. We're just going to use txt because that's just whatever text. And then, as you see down here, we can literally do ls because we're still in the tech app folder, and ls, you see that now we have a blank file that we just created. If you went through the terminal little PDF, then this is nothing new to you. You already know this. But I just want to, just reiterate these some of these little, terminal commands for you. Kind of the same with Linux, but they are, again, the keywords are a little different. I think to create a folder, you do ls to create a folder. I don't know. I forgot the syntax of that, but just know that it is different. But anyway, so what else we was going to do? We want to, add a file. So we are going to do the git, let me move my cursor, git add, and we need to add our file. What was the name? TechAppSwift. Okay, so add tech app. Tech app what? Tech, no, I didn't. I just had the lowercase a .swift. Okay, so it said it did not add any file. Oh, okay. I need to go back, actually. Change the git add. Actually, I could have just did that. And let me put it in quotations, because before I go to change directory, because I want to add it in here. So it did not add, if it did not match any files. Let me look at my, oh, there we go. So let me go back here and go change directory .dot. I'm gonna go back to my desktop and run that same command, git add tech app Swift. And then let me do, I added that to my desktop, which should be, let me put git status really quick. I just need to check to make sure I'm running the same path. So if I git status is telling me what my status right now is with my git folder, right? With my git file, my git repository. So I'm on the master branch. I have no commits. Clearly, we didn't do anything. Changes to be commit. Okay, cool. So we did add this file. It says new file was added. I can unstage it. And when you add a file, they say that it's called putting it to a staging environment. I have yet to really like understand why they have this staging environment. For me, I say it as um, you add your repository, you add, you know, your files to a repository, and then you're going to add your file to your repository, even though the repository already knows your file, right? It's kind of like being redundant. That's why I don't understand why they have it. But then again, I understand it because it's like putting it up to the next step. But to me, it's just like another, you know, useless step. So maybe you guys can go a little deeper into GitHub or Git and figure out why do we have to keep this staging environment. You just have to look at the documentation. I don't feel like, I'm lazy. Y'all know that. So I don't read documentation that much. But I follow directions. So Git status, we have to make sure that the file is in a staging environment. And to do that, you do the git add, which is adding it to the repository. I feel like that's again redundant, but whatever. That's just what you have to do. And to check it, I always like to check my stuff. That's why you might see me do git status a lot. And I just want to make sure that I did the necessary step, which was stage it. And I can unstage it, meaning that it is staged. So I can, again, we're going to commit this. We're going to learn how to commit to this. And then untracked files, right? These are all the files that are on my desktop that are not in my repository. My repository, well, Git knows about it, but it's not in my repository. Not all of them. They're just saying that, hey, I know about it. I'm not, again, I'm not tracking it. And we will go through the steps of tracking it or tracking the ones we want, which is tech app folder and such. Okay. Okay, cool. So we, let me click that. Okay. So we went ahead and we created our repository, and then we added a file into our repository. So now it's time to commit, you know, add some type of checkpoint, some type of message to say what was going on. So we added this file. This is our, you know, first file. So, I mean, what do you think our message would be? And, you know, you just start off with always with git commit. And what's our message? Our message can be like, just uploaded my first code. I'm gonna say my first file, just to keep it uniform with the language. My first file, you know, double quotations. And then enter, and then it went ahead and, you know, put the commit, put this comment into my root master file. One thing too I want to point out is master, and you may see primary, you may see, you may even see root, but master and primary is another one that you may see out here. You know, they're trying to change this language. They feel like master is slave, and they're trying to deal with like anti-slave. Like, you know, that's what they're doing now. That's the environment. So they don't like to say master a lot. So you may go into the workforce as a Black person, and it may be a little awkward when they're like, no, don't say master because of the slaves. Yeah, it's cringy. But just to let you know that up front, you may hear people say master or say another word, even though it is master, and they'll be scared to say master around you. And it's like, it's not that serious, dude. Like, if that's the keyword, that's the keyword. But whatever. I just wanted to put that little tidbit out there because I've been in an uncomfortable situation with that, and I just didn't understand why. Like, whatever. But these comments, I just uploaded my first file. They'll be here forever and ever and ever unless I delete my repository, which, you know, is a little messy. But, you know, you want to always have a history of what's happening, right? Imagine in history, there's footnotes. So you can go back in history and be like, oh, okay. So don't go there. Oh, okay. So don't do this, right? So this is kind of the same thing. A commit is just a comment that's there for the life forever. Okay, so we did a comment, and then let's create a branch. Okay, let's say that we did that and now we're thinking about, we have our tech app, and now we're thinking about, like I said, adding a web page or something, adding member accounts or whatever. I don't know. We want to just branch off without adding code to our main code, to our deployment code is what we're going to call it. Our production code is kind of the keywords, you know, the terminology you want to use. So we would come in and do git branch and let's see, we can name it web page. Let's just name it web page. Git branch. Well, we're not going to get it. We should get B. And the name is, let's call it web page. I want to be simple. Web page. Git dash B. Dang, what's the code? Let me come up here. What's the, oh, actually I have a link somewhere. I freaking message it to myself. Here we go. Yeah, I messaged it to myself. And because I'm like, this is helpful. Git bash commands. These are commands for bash for myself. Windows, I ain't gonna say for myself, but for Windows. So, I mean, you should just Google the git commands for whatever operating system you're using, but I'm using bash. So let me, I want to do a branch. Where's the branches at? Okay, there we go. Git branch. This command creates a new branch. Check out. Okay, this branch creates a new branch and then checks out the same. Okay, so let's do that. We could do either or. So we can git branch and just create a branch, or we can do git checkout minus B in the branch name. And that means that we are going to create a branch and then land in that branch. Let me show you an example. So we have git checkout, that was it was, checkout minus B web page. Okay, that's the name of our branch. We're going to enter. And then as you can see right here, we have switched from the master branch to master tree or whatever to the master file to, you know, our branch. We branched off into a web page. And we can, you know, add whatever, you know, we want to add in that if we want to. Again, it's my web page. So I would add member accounts and whatever that code may be, whatever that file may be. And I'm just gonna, you know, continue working on it and changing it and adding commits in this branch and, you know, doing what I want to do until I feel as though like, okay, yeah, I want to deploy this. Let's look at a git status really quick. I just can't spell. So we have here in this branch, as you can see, it still knows everything in this repository. It just doesn't have, you know, anything, you know, else in it. We can go back. Let me go back to the main root. We're gonna go back to log. We can do log, merge, checkout, branch, reset, existing file. Oh, they want to tell me how to go. Let me see, what's this? Git. I could just go back. Yeah, they don't have anything with going back, but I think I play around with a lot of things too. And that's what you guys should do, play around. So let's do git, where we at? Can we do CD? CD takes us back to desktop. I mean, OneDrive takes us out of the whole thing. CD desktop. Okay, I'm still in web page. So yeah, I'm still in the branch. How do I get out this branch? How about, let me see. Let me Google. Cause I don't know these commands by heart, y'all. So I hope y'all don't think that I know all this stuff by heart. Get out of a branch and get, oh, I'm not even typing where I need to type. Let me come up here. Get out of a branch, get Stack Overflow. Look at your first one. Clone repository. I just need the command. Checkout master. Of course, you can do a checkout master. Like, duh, don't that sound just so easy? Let's do that. Let's do is it just checkout or was it get checkout? Yeah, get checkout. So let's just see. Get checkout master. And I switched to the master branch. So yeah, you see how Google just saves lives? Like I don't have to know that, but I know how to find it. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to do, to be able to be, you know, what I just did. Like I don't know, but I know how to keep going. But anyway, so boom. So now we was able to, you know, do a commit, do a branch. Let me look into, let's do get status here. And get status. Where we at? We're still on our desktop. Let's go to we're in our master file. Let me go up. Okay, yeah, it still has our tech app folder with our tech app, which I'm gonna call it. Let me see if I can get into no, I'm gonna keep on to the desk. Let me just see. Check really quick. I just want to do something really quick. This master folder, and then let me do get status because it will show me on GitHub, but I want to show me in the blank file. Yes, we just got this blank file. You know, I definitely was trying to touch, what was the name of what we had? That was like tech app.swift. Maybe we'll put it in this. Actually, let me try without the quotations because they be on some other stuff. Okay, so we are in tech app. Let's do get status. Okay, there freaking go. Okay, cool. So boom, now we finally added it. I don't know, maybe, oh, okay, because I said add, which is adding. So now, dude, so now I gotta do, so I added that. So that's where I say like, it's kind of confusing with the staging environment because you would think that you added it, but you didn't. And then you think that you didn't add it, but you did. Get add. I think I already did this in here, but I'm still going to add it, just again, redundancy, because I don't, oh, okay. So that is actually, this is what will be committed. And that's, so I staged it and this will include, okay. So it's just not tracked. So I did add it, I added it, whatever. But you know, it's basically saying that this will, you know, this is being tracked, this is not being tracked. And obviously I've only put this keyword add Swift only to this. I mean, get add only to the Swift. I didn't say to this text, this blank text, because it was just a blank text. I just wanted to show you guys how you can add stuff without having to create a file, which again, you should probably already know how to do that from our lesson, well, from that PDF. We didn't really have a lesson on it. Okay, so we added a repo, we did a commit, we added a staging file, which we probably will go over some more because I need to brush up on it. And then we went ahead and talked about branches, you know, how to add a branch, and I showed you how to Google to get out of a branch. Now, let's say we want all this file to be uploaded to our GitHub because, you know, we created the code already, and the code is in Git. Git knows about it. I've created some type of comment, and now we want that to be displayed on our website, on our web page, which is GitHub, because maybe we want somebody else to work on it. I don't know, who knows? But what you would do is come here and you would click on your plus sign and you'll say new repository, okay? And then you can name it whatever. Let's name it, we called it tech app file. I don't know, we called it tech app. I don't know, whatever. I'm just making up names at this point. Put a description on what this project is, you know. Let's say it is, let's say it's our D app. Haha. And then public, anybody on the internet can see this, or we could do it private, probably private. I mean, public, private, whatever, however you want, private, because we don't want anybody stealing our code until, we source it out. And then boom, whatever. I don't know, just click create repositories, a whole bunch of stuff right here. I don't be reading all of that. But if you look here, it tells you how you can do a quick setup. You can create a new repository on the command line. So I can literally do these things on this command line in GitHub. Or I can push an existing repository from the command line, which is what we just did. We already did a repository. We want to push what we did on Git Bash to this website, GitHub, so everyone else can see our code. Okay, so this is the one we're going to use. So all we got to do is copy. You can copy. Oh, you can just copy right here, and then you go into your bash and let me paste. Let me make sure. Oops. Let me paste here. And am I in the master folder? Yes, I'm in the master folder. You got to paste this in your master folder and then enter and then let it do its thing. My computer is slow. Okay, so what did it say? Push some reps to does not match any. So what I probably have to do is get out of this folder, possibly. What is it? Get. I don't even know the thing we use. Get branch main, get status. Get checkout master. Checkout master, where we at? See, then I end up just going back to my freaking desktop because desktop not in folder. Where we're at the tech app. Let me look at my desktop. This is the app folder. Okay, we just gonna get out. Change directory. And then hold on, let me just make sure this folder, let me open this folder and make sure. Because I see I have two folders on my desktop that I created twice. Because I did put add twice. Because I thought I didn't do anything. Let me just make sure there's nothing in there. There's nothing in this folder. Okay, cool. And then okay, cool. So I should be in desktop. What do we do? Get master, get checkout master. We're kind of in checkout master. Let's do CD. Let's just go all the way back. And let's just go back to the desktop. And then let's go to the code again. Paste. I may have to copy code again because it didn't paste how I wanted to paste. Copy. Go back to Git Bash. Click on here. Paste it. Don't do Control P. I mean Control V or Control C. Okay. My computer is okay. So let me go back to the code because it's not one to copy. Let me go back to Git Bash. And then I'm going to see me paste it. It's not allowing me to paste. Let me go back. And let me paste it in my Visual Studio Code just to make sure. Okay, there we go. And again, if you look, it's kind of proprietary to you. So don't think you can copy and paste this for anybody and everybody. So you kind of still need to read your code when you're copying and pasting. Let me see why. Can we do? So yeah, why is it not coming off of my? I'm gonna have to probably just go back. What do we have? Get remote at origin. Get remote at origin. Get branch main git push or user. We're gonna do the origin. So you better know how to spell, because mama no I don't. Main. Let's see if that'll run. Because I literally did that manually. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't copying and pasting. Like maybe my mouse was sticking or something. I don't know. But anyway, so you put in, we just copied, well, I tried to copy and paste, but I didn't. I ended up having to type it manually, but we put this code right here, which is pushing it to the to GitHub. Before I even refresh, let's just go over here really quick. As you can see, it tells you that, it counted some objects. It, pushed the objects up, wrote these objects, is telling you, bytes, kilobits. We already talked about all that. And, again, it pushed it to my URL and created its branch, okay? And the origin, which is, well, this is, it's local. So this is our, our main file. Anyway, moving along to GitHub. Let's go ahead and refresh this page. And as you can see here, we now have our code. So if we wanted to, again, share, somebody want to come in, they can see, oh, tech app and .swift. So this is your iOS app. So I'm going to come in here and, look at your code. Oh, okay. So you got some variables, oh, you did something wrong. You was supposed to add whatever. I can literally edit it or whatever. I can, add, and let's say that one of you guys were looking at this and you added some quotations or something because I missed it. You can literally do like a pull request, and we can, I don't think I can do one right now because I only have one thing, but you can literally compare from what I did to what you did. Can't really compare nothing because I don't have anything else, but right here it'll say compare, and I can either merge my pull request, merge the request that you did to my code, or I can just keep it on some stuff that you did. Like that's you. Yeah. And then, if I want, I can come into this project and I can literally come in and make, let me click on, should I come in? Where we at? We're at my code. Let me go all the way back to the tech app. I can literally come here and, look at it on SSH. We talked about that. Obviously, we're on HTTPS. We can do it in this CLI, this command, which is a web-based command, GitHub's command. Download this whole file. Let's say that, again, I'm sharing this with you. You could just download my code and work on it on your own stuff. Go to file, and of course, we can, check on it. Let me see what else I wanted to show you guys. We got our branches. We can view branches. Let me go back. We can literally, we can view our branches. If it shows us all, obviously it's just one, but we can create our branches. We can, just like we created it in our terminal, our Windows terminal, we can do the same thing. We can do branch 2, right? Create the branch. Now we have another branch. If we want, we can do branch 3, okay? When we're creating branches. And let's say for branch 3, I want to rename. Let me see, let me do a pull request. A new pull request, main. No, because it's going to say it's the same because there's nothing in there. Yeah, nothing to compare. So we can't even do that. But at least, you were able to see, how we can create branches in GitHub and just in Git as well. Let me see. I'm going to, let's see if I can edit that. And then let's say that I just did a comment. You did great on this. Whatever, I'm making up stuff, y'all. And then here's a commit that I can say, and I could say added a comment. whatever, I don't know, save changes. I'm just trying to give y'all some data so you can see how it flows. Okay, so cool. So we have that, we created some branches. I put a comment on the GUI, so easy. But this time, what we want is to take what we have right here and let it update on our terminal, because our terminal, we don't see all what we just did. Let's take a look at, can we do git status? You know, there's nothing there. Let's go down here. And what we want to do is see some stuff. Let's push what we just did to Git, because again, you did some things and I want to see it and I want to work on it on my own time, whatever. So we can take a look. Let me just refresh here, just so I know. All right, cool. Now we can take a look and do git log. And you can see that somebody did something, which was me. Let me just make sure that was the time. Just uploaded my first file. Okay, cool. So that was me who did that. Now let's go ahead and, you know, push this to our Git. Let me pull up my, where's the browser at? Why is my, sorry y'all, my mouse is sticking for some reason. Let me take my battery out really quick. I'm gonna just use I'm gonna use this, my freaking trackpad. I'm gonna have to restart my computer. But anyway, so let me get back in Bash. Where we at? So let's go ahead. Where we at? There we go. And put, I think it's push. We did push, so I guess it's pull this go around. Let me look at the command, because honestly, it's other push. It's something other than pull. Other than pull. Let's see, we're gonna merge logs, remote. Okay, so we got pull, we got push, whirlpool. This command fetches and merges changes to a remote server to your working directory. No, we don't want the link. We don't want the link. Let's do pull to master, because we don't just want the link. Let's try that. Again, this is all trial and error, y'all. Pull, git pull. We should be in the same. Maybe that's not the command. Let's go into, we in desktop. Let's do git branch. Was it git checkout? Checkout branch. What branch was it? It was like tech app or something, or web page. That's what it was. It was something. Let's go in. Let me just go up here. We're in our main git folder, tech app folder. Let's go in here. Let's change directory. Tech app. All right, and then let's just look at the status real quick. You know, I always like to check the status. Okay, and then let's just see what happened. Does not have any commits, but I definitely added something. Find this out. Oops. Git log. Okay, so it did say that I did this commit. Let me do git status. So it will be added to that. Use git add to track, nothing to commit but untracked files. I don't want to really, I guess I can. I'm gonna just add it for showing you guys, because blank file .txt. Okay, and then let me I'm just gonna do a real commit really quick. just because I want to see the path of where this is going. Because I think I created it twice, so I'm probably gonna have to create it twice. And another one. All right, let me do a git log really quick. All right, so trying this out and another one. Again, as you can kind of see, the comments are showing you, I mean, you can kind of see how the commit is looking like, okay, I did something with this file, which was just trying this out. I did something with this file, which was trying another one out. In code, you would have it specific to whatever you're using it as. But you can kind of see how that's laid out. Working tree clean. Okay, so we have the tree clean. Let's do git pull. What was he? We said git pull. I'm gonna try it again because I'm in a different folder, so maybe that'll work. Master. Oh, y'all ain't even tell me I spelled that wrong. Let's see how y'all is. Okay. They just can't find my remote server. Let's do, let me, oh, you know what? You know what's having issues with that copy and paste? So maybe that could be something with my copy and paste. DApp. Let me do my code. Go way back to the beginning. I have to just go all the way back to the beginning, my repositories. You can always see your repositories, what you got going on here. As you see, I have a bunch of stuff that I just been messing with. Oh, maybe because I did that 2 hours ago, it's kind of named the same thing. Whatever, it's okay. You guys can kind of still see it. Where we're at. Let me go back up to Git. And then let me go back to my commands. Tech app, am I in tech app folder? I'm not even in, yeah, I'm in tech app folder. Remote origin already exists. So let's just pull, git pull. I think I'm doing the command wrong. Oh, it's just git pull. I'm want to do master so much. So as you can see here, I git pull is wanting to get my, well, it has received everything that I did on GitHub. And you can kind of know, you can kind of see that because what did I do on GitHub? I did branch 2 and I did branch 3. And then this was the one that I did already locally here and then put it up to GitHub and then GitHub gave it back to me. I can, I think pull, I think I could do log after this and log should give me more than what I did, honestly. Let's really quick, let me just do something and see if it will do, if it will change it. I'm gonna just say edit, and I'm not even gonna edit it. I'm just gonna say here. Oh, I have to gotta put something here. There we go. Here I am. I'm just putting in arbitrary words, y'all. So I'm just gonna refresh, get back to bash, git pull is the keyword. I was trying to say git pull from master. I don't know why I got that, where I got that from. Okay, so it got what I need, pull, and then, because I didn't change anything, you know, still has the same thing, still have my branches. Let me do git log. Trying this out, another one, it just didn't, it's not showing my commits. And I think it's because my computer is not loading as it should. As you can see, it's kind of lagging. I don't know if it's lagging on y'all end, but it's just now pulling up for me. So I don't know what's going on. Tech app folder. Yeah, I'm in the folder, but at least you was able to see that I could grab the branches. Why can't I grab, let me see. we're gonna grab this commit. So let me go into I'm in the tech app folder. Let me look at, and I did my logs. Let me look at my git status. There's nothing in here, my tech folder. If I can do git, where was we at? Git, was it desktop? I don't know what we named that other folder. That's why I should name stuff. Yeah, I should name stuff. I should name stuff what it is instead of just putting arbitrary words in here. It was another folder that we created, and that's probably where it's saving these commits at. I just don't know the name of it. Let me look at my desktop. We said tech app. What else we said? We said this Swift. And what is this folder? That's nothing in that folder. It's a folder on here that we just named just randomly. That's why it's important to name stuff what you should. Yeah, you should name it what you should, because this one don't even have anything in it. So I know we don't even have. Okay. I wonder if we could do git branch. Oh, I'm in the main. So I can do git branch. I mean, we wasn't in a web page. We didn't do anything in a web page. Yeah, it's a folder. Oh, not God. It's a folder that I named so funky. And it's not pulling, it's only pulling to that folder. And if y'all don't even remember what folder it was, I can't even get to it. Let's go to tech app folder. Let's do a change directory. And then we in desktop, and let's do git branches. Did we make any branches in desktop? Git branch. I'm trying to do plural. Web page is right here. And y'all didn't even want to say nothing. Git branch web page. How do I get into, let's just do git, I guess we could say checkout. I don't want it to create a branch. I just want to go to that branch because I'm in the main branch. So I can probably say, actually, I don't even have to think. I can just come over here to here. Where my branch is at. List of branches available, creates a new branch, deletes a branch, use the checkout to the branch. Okay, it's just checkout. You don't have to use that -B. You can just say checkout to web page. I wonder if I have to capitalize that web page. And then we switch to web page and git log, just uploaded my first file. And then I would probably have to run that whole thing in this thing. Let me see, git status. Spelled it wrong. You see how important spelling is, y'all? So don't be like me and not untracked files. Okay, so it's just telling you what's in here. We didn't even add in here anything. It's just in this branch file. And then we did git log? Yeah, we already know. So it's just uploaded my first file. That's all that was in here. It was something, it was a more of a root folder that we created. I can't find it, but at least you guys can see and you saw how I created some stuff in Git and it transferred to Git Bash. And then from Git Bash, not Git Bash, GitHub, and then from GitHub, we did some stuff, we created some branches, created some comments, and we were able to refresh. We just save it, and I like to refresh. I don't think you have to refresh, but I just like to refresh. And then you come back over to your bash, to your Git, and you literally will see, let me go up here. You literally will see the branches that you created. And if you go into the logs, you'll see the comments, the commits that you created. or whoever created it. It may not be you. It may be shoot, your teacher, your colleague, your manager, me, who knows? But at least you know the basics of Git and GitHub. Okay. Git is what we're on now. It is created off of Linux, and it is to help you control your code, help you keep a history of your code. Okay. Almost like putting your code on blockchain, right? And everybody who wants to change your code, they have to change it on the blockchain, and it's documented forever and ever and ever. This is exactly what this is in a sense. But since it's local to me, I can just come in here and just delete this folder, and I can just delete that, and boom, there's no more history, right? I just erased history. You can't do that with blockchain, obviously, but it's kind of, you could think of Git as that same thing, which is totally different from GitHub, created by somebody else. And I don't know who created it, but it wasn't by the same people. And basically, it's just a library. They just made it like an extension of Git to be like, hey, here's a software that we created that works well with Git. It's called GitHub. And it's where we send our code that's from our local computer to the world, to the internet, the cloud. So we all can work on the code, and we all work on that code. And then you do something, I could just send it back to my local computer without, saving the file, downloading the file. The file could be huge. And usually it is. And I learned that again with my new client. Well, I've had this client for like a year now, but in the beginning, I was like, yeah, just send it to me in my email. Just send me the code. And it was not happening. And then I learned like, oh, I have to use GitHub, which I already was using, but not to that capacity. So it was like, wow, I'm not going to show y'all all the code, but at least you can kind of see what I've been working on, that I put up here that I've been working on. I should change this, a network engineer, advancing software development skills. So the company life, I'm working with it. I forked it. Basically, I just created another version of it so I can work on it on myself. These are the original developers. I'm the second developer, so we're doing what we need to do. HTML, CSS, probably something I was teaching my brother or something. This was their iOS code that I had to dig deep in. I was creating a blockchain in 2020. Wow, I clearly didn't come back to here. Blockchain test. Oh, this was my first ledger I created. Okay, so I think this is public. It should be public. You guys can look up Jessica KW on GitHub and come look at my code. You can download it and run it in your own terminal. So yes, this is what this took me so long. It didn't take me that long, but it took me long because it was indents and semicolons, and it was just like, But as you can see, you could probably read this now, like, we created a value, and then, this value, we extract the last element of the block list. So it's 0 indexed. As you can see, we talked about that already. So we're just adding transactions amount, the last amount, and the full amount. You can enter your transaction amount, and it returns with enter value, and you actually got to enter it. And then whatever the user inputs, this is what I say when they put it in, I say, give you your choice here, they'll input it, and I'll add it to the block on the blockchain. I'll verify that chain. And then of course I'm indexing, which I'm counting how many times they are adding to my blockchain. And then I have a couple, if they choose option 1, if they choose option 2, if they choose option 3. And if they choose option 1, they get, the transaction value. Choose option 2, they'll print whatever their value, whatever they added to the blockchain. And then 3, if they wanted to change it. So they say, oh, instead of last week doing 120, I'm gonna say I did 121. And it shows that you changed it. I mean, it shows that you made some changes. And then, if that happens, then it'll break. I didn't finish it. As you can see here, it breaks once the chain's been manipulated because, it's time to put in some security. And that's where I'm like, okay, now I got to add in this SHA-256 hash, and my eyes start getting cross-eyed, and I just stopped. So if you guys want to work on this and let's create our own blockchain, then yes, I started us off in Python. So yeah, you can definitely download this, work with it if you want. That's kind of what I have going on for y'all, you know. I'm just teaching y'all what I know and what's helped me learning Python. What's this? This was a link to something? No? Oh, this was, yeah, me starting off, because I was learning Python for blockchain. I was going to actually like go through the thing, but I guess I stopped here and did my own thing. But yes, I'm glad that I found my blockchain code. I've been looking for that. I've been wanting to show somebody that so bad. And you guys should run it in your terminal and do it. I should run it in the terminal. Do y'all got time? Let me run it. I just want to see if it still works. I'm curious. I did so much in the midst of this code, so I'm curious to know. Test. Okay. So let me put it in my code here. File, new. Let's do Python. I'm just going to be a little lazy right now and copy and paste. Oh, my computer is running so slow. I'm about to just uninstall a whole bunch of stuff. I'm probably going to uninstall this git bash stuff because, you know, I don't use it that much. I should though, but I don't. I'm just going to uninstall it really quick. I'm going to uninstall a whole bunch of stuff. Come on. All right. Just going to copy that. Put it in here. Hopefully it's all indented right. If not, sorry. File. Let's save as. Let's put it on my desktop. See, desktop, I got only one folder right here. So it must be in the back. Anyway, let's do blockchain test.py. Save. Let's open the terminal. New terminal. Let's let that baby pull up. Takes a little time. But while that's doing that, do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns on anything? While I'm just playing around. No, y'all good? Y'all need chats? Let me see in the chat. Oh, y'all ain't got nothing in the chat. Okay, user. All right, let's look at, gotta change directory. OneDrive. We gotta change directory to desktop. And then let's do Pi. And then let's do Python 3. Well, I don't have to be Python 3. I can literally do Pi. What was, dang, shouldn't have got into it. I should have did Python 3. What's the name of this file? Blockchain. I need to get better. Well, I'm telling y'all to get better with naming stuff. I need to get better with naming stuff. Blockchain. Okay, so let's see what happens. So this is my file and it has some stuff. This probably was just some arrays I was doing. Give the first element of the block. I'm gonna say 2. I don't know what they expect me to do. Okay, and then so it adds 2 to the blocks. As you can see, is nesting my arrays, meaning that, you know, I'm putting 2 into the arrays. I'm adding to the block. Enter your transaction amount. You know, let's say, you know, because Mama made 140 today. So let's say I made 140. And it's gonna say choose an option here, one for adding a new transaction. This is stupid. So I'm gonna say choose 1. Let's say add a new transaction. Enter your transaction amount. Just say 140. Give your answer here. Oh, so maybe I can add 2. So let me do, maybe I can print 2. Oh shit, no. Give your answer here. Here is your block. Okay, there we go. Here is your block. I should probably make this prettier. But anyway, So as you can see here, enter your transaction. I put in 140. It says, okay, cool, it entered in. Now give me another choice. I said 140. I don't know what this one here, but enter your amount. I said 140. What gave me another option? It just did another loop. The loop was just saying, okay, so I added to the block. Now what else do you want to do? Do you want to check the block? Do you want to add another transaction? Do you want to manipulate some stuff? I chose, instead of adding more transactions, I chose to just say, let me print the block, and they're going to print the block. So, you know, I added 140, and then this is my last 140 that I added. And then they're showing that I added two 140s, which I did 140, 140. So I really didn't make 140 twice today, but you know, I'm just showing you transactions. So that's two. So one, I added it. Two, I can print out the blocks of what I added and it took it. And then three, give your choice here. Let's see what three says. Blockchain manipulated. And then it just stopped. It broke, right? It had a break. And as you can see in my code, which I should just put you in studio. Anyway, but as you can see here, once I choose, you know, the user choose three, I chose three, which was what, you know, it will print out, you want to manipulate the data, and it will break, meaning that the code will just stop. It will stop running. This right here, which is my loop, my while loop, it will keep running and keep running and keep running as long as I add in 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. 3 will say what? Break. Okay. If else break. So it's kind of the same as JavaScript, right? If you guys went through the whole course, then you kind of can already, you know, understand what I just did there. And that's what I did. I learned like what I taught you guys, what I just, you know, taught you guys for JavaScript. Well, probably a little less than that, but I kind of learned just the basics of, you know, Python and JavaScript, just little basics, and you know, blockchain. And I just put it all together. And, you know, this is what I came up with. And it took me a minute. I don't know, is Charmaine in here? I think I was working with you on this, and I was like, I cannot figure this out. No, Charmaine's not in here. But I just couldn't figure it out. And he was trying to help me with it. And we was both going back and forth, like, what? And I just never went back to it. I think I did end up fixing it, but then I just stopped because I figured out something else that I wanted to do, which is sad. Look, here's a comment. The above is some BS, and I need to learn why my code don't work as intended. So this is probably me learning comments. And I'm like, okay, this is a real life comment, because, you know, up here, I'm literally just, you know, trying out stuff like, how does this work? And I guess I just never deleted it. So I just added a comment and said, you know, hey, don't worry about this. Because my code wasn't working. As you can see, it works, it just doesn't break. And, you know, I need to finish it. So, and again, if I run it again, it's literally just going to go through the same loop. Give the first element 7. What's your transaction? 6. What's your choice? Add 8. What's your choice? I want to add 9. What's your choice? I want to add 90. Now I want to print out everything I just added to my blockchain, which is 2. And as you can see, I added 6, I added 8, I added 9, I added 90. That's all I got. Yeah, I felt pretty proud of that. You know, I feel like I can do more with my newfound knowledge. I can definitely add some hashing here, a little more pizzazz. This is bland. It's kind of lame if you think about it. It's just a loop. Anyway, I'm done, y'all. I think we just did like 2 hours. But that's because I want to really just get you guys at least to understand the difference between Kotlin and Swift. So when you see these, you kind of can tell like, oh, okay, well, that means Android, and Swift means iOS, right? For mobile app development. And if you want to go into that, you know which realm to choose. And then I definitely had to make sure that you understood Git and GitHub, because that is vital to being a software developer. I've never been a software developer in corporate, but I definitely, you know, worked with software developers. And being as a network engineer, you know, just because, you know, we just cross paths so much. And if you are interested, they don't mind like showing you what's up. So they definitely was able to show me some things. That's how I even started off with a GitHub account. I didn't know how to use it, but I definitely had it, uploaded some code. And then it wasn't until I got my client earlier this year to where I actually had to start using GitHub and Git to be like, oh, okay, because I need to see this code and I need to work on it, but I don't want to mess up what they already have in production. So I had to learn how to do stuff locally, but not take up so many resources on my computer. And, you know, using Git and GitHub helped me be like, oh, okay, cool, I know what to do. You know, so again, I don't know all the syntax to all these things. I know the basics, and you saw me Google a lot of it anyway. So don't think that, oh, you have to know all of this. I don't know all of this. I just know where to find it, and it's Google. So yeah, and then like I said, it's Friday, so that kind of, I wouldn't say it ends our software development week, but everything Saturday and Sunday, we're just going to repeat what we've been doing, just to make sure that you guys got a solid understanding of what skill sets you need to have to be successful out here, or at least how to use these tools properly. You know, I don't want you deviating too much into YouTube land and Google land. I kind of want you to make sure you understand the fundamentals from here, from what I'm telling you, and then go out and build upon that. You know, what I learned is from documentation. And even though I don't read documentation, I learn from it, you know, the irony. So what I'm telling you is what the developers are telling you, the people who created these softwares are telling you. It may be a little different as far as verbiage, but you know, you say what you need to say and you're gonna still get a job, right? Because everyone, when you go out here, everyone has their own thing. You know, there's really no software development certificate. You know, if you want to be a network engineer or something, system engineer, then you go get a Linux certificate. You go get a CCNA or A plus, you know, CompT or something. But if you want to like be a Python developer, like there's no Python certificate really. I mean, you can go to like Udemy and all these other places, yeah, but I mean, there's no like, you know, universal standard certificate. So it's kind of just, do you know these technologies? Can you speak to it? Can you troubleshoot? Can you figure out any issues if I have with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know how to use this to accomplish this goal? And as long as you can, which is a project to do, then I mean, there's no reason why y'all can't come out here and at least by the end of this year, you know, be interviewing with 80K jobs like, hey, you know, I think that this is a good interview, or they may actually want you. You know, that's kind of where we're at with it. I gave you the sauce, I gave you the technologies that is in demand that you need right now, that you can get right now and get a job right now. Everything else is arbitrary, right? Project management, you know, you can use this and do project management, right? Because now you know the lingo. So you can say, yeah, you know I can project manage on, you know, maybe they're trying to do a merger and acquisition and they need someone to help, you know, manage this project from a company buying another company out, and they have to switch over their network infrastructure. You can just be the project manager, which you're just managing the project to say, hey, did you get the email from Tom to talk to the carrier about when they're going to put over the new phones? Or is the network up over here at this site? Is it not? Oh, okay, so who's in charge of the network? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not really technical, but it just gives you more money when you're able to, you know, translate the jargon between different departments, you know, because that's kind of what project managers do. I was thrown in project management and I hated it. I'm just like, I'm not finna keep up with these folks. No, I turn tickets. I'm not finna do that. So maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you like managing. I don't. So yeah, there's so much you could do with this. Let me check the chat because y'all quiet in here. It's quiet. Let me see. Oh, y'all still ain't saying nothing. I guess y'all ain't got nothing to say.
No, because we're listening and trying to wrap our heads around it. I know I am.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
I know. It's a lot. I'm sorry, y'all. It was a lot in one day.
Like, I'm still trying to catch up from the other day.
Me too.
Look, same here. But it helps to listen and hear the words and hear the concepts and then go back. It's kind of like a layered education. That's how I teach myself. So
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. No, so that's why, for this weekend, we're gonna take it easy, review what we've been doing this week. If you already kind of understand Python enough, just this weekend, just work on your projects, work on getting caught up, work on finishing that JavaScript course, because everything that I've talked about is really in that JavaScript course. Like I said, we'll do Python tomorrow, and I may just, create that specifically just for Python, so you guys can have that to review. But it's really the same stuff, just different flavors, right? So just get into a project. You guys should be in something: APIs, websites, mobile app, web scraping, automating, building something. Oh, we're gonna do Solidity. We're gonna end this Monday. Monday we're gonna do Solidity. So then you can do smart contracts, and with Solidity you can create cryptocurrencies. Then I just gave y'all blockchain code, so you can just at least play with that. So yeah, it's time to you got everything. It is a lot. Now it's time to really just start planning everything. For the next couple of weeks, we're just playing in everything that we've been learning. So yes, it is overwhelming, especially today. We talked about a lot. But now it's just repeating everything we've talked about to make sure that it sticks in your head. Okay. At least sticks in your head enough to take it to get the interview, because that's all we need. We're gonna get that interview, finesse these terms, and land it, because they're gonna train you anyway. They're gonna train you anyway. There's a lot of times they do not let me into the router. They do not let me into the command line. And it's like, well, you hired me as the senior. How you not gonna let me, if you're paying me this 90, 100K salary, how come I can't go into the terminal? Like, why don't you trust me? But I get it, it's a $1 billion company. Like, I'm not gonna just trust you just because I'm paying you a measly old 100,000. So time, it's all about perspective. But yeah, I'm going to send some more links out. I'll probably be up late again tonight. I was up till like 3 a.m. So I'll probably do the same tonight, because I got some stuff to knock out. And I'll send a whole bunch of links to you guys, so just be looking out in the chat. I'll probably come across some jobs too, send those out, apply to them now. I know you still working on your project. You probably just started your project. Still apply, okay? A lot of times them descriptions is just descriptions. They gonna hire who they want to hire. They could probably you can have everything in that description. And because your name is something that is not normal, quote unquote, they're gonna pass you up, right? If they meet their quota for Black folks, they're gonna pass you up. So don't stop yourself from applying to stuff just because it has too many requirements. Apply. If that thing said master's degree and 10 years of experience, you better apply. As long as you feel like you can do the job, apply. Like, I'm trying to tell you, I've been in 4, nope, 3. Yeah, 4, because one was only 3 months. So I've been in like 4 contracts within my 3 years. And when I look at the job description after I get hired, I'm like, I don't have like 60% of this stuff. It is hilarious. But again, it's who you know, not what you know. So, I'm gonna bring some of my people on. Maybe you can network with them and, go down a rabbit hole. Say no more. If they train me, I can do the job. Exactly. It's all about problem solving. Okay. They're going to train you. They're going to train you how they're going to train you. They may train you just by giving you PDFs. They may train you by making you watch some videos, or somebody may say, your colleague trained you, and he probably going to train you the worst way possible. He going to say, oh, don't do this, but I do this. I do this, but don't do this. Like, he going to show you everything but. So, if you know how to problem solve, and be like, okay, well, this is the job at hand. I know what my colleague said, and I know what, whether this documentation said or whatever, I know what the end goal is. So how do I get to that end goal? No one cares how you get to it. Just get to it. That's the thing with tech. Like, they don't care, just do it. That's why sometimes, like, I can just go as simple as when you see the cables, and the cables are all like jumbled together. I mean, there's still power. Is power not on? Like, is the internet's not working? Now, I get it. The cables are jumbled up looking crazy, but it's all right. It doesn't matter how how you are able to connect to the internet. It don't matter how it got powered on. It's powered on. And that's all you care about, because you're just trying to do your task, which is surf the web or put in your time card. However, how I fix the internet is my business. And as my business, you know, there's other people in that department and they're looking at me like, why can't you just organize it? So to be, you know, courteous and, you know, a good developer, we want to make sure that things are pretty and aligned right, you know, so everyone else can have it. But when you think about the job and the client, they don't care how you doing it. Like they don't care that the arrays is in order or out of order. Well, maybe if they want it in order, you know, but still like it's just certain things that you can kind of finesse. And you can just, you know, they don't care. Just can you do it? Can you make a list for me? You know? Um, just it's I don't know. It's simple, but it's hard, right? I think they're the same path. I think when you're going down the path, simple, you know, success and failure, they're kind of the same thing. It looks the same if you know, going down a path. Because you're gonna, for me, I fail a lot. And the people look at me and be like, wow, you know, I want to be like you. And it's like, no, you don't. I'm trying to level up. But, you know, I see it like, oh, okay, you know, I can see from, you know, other people's perspective why they would say, you know, I'm living the life or they want to be like me. But me going through this motion, like, you know, this, I'm just roadblocks, failures. You know, I ain't hitting this goal, I ain't mean this quota. Like it's like, God damn. But you know, I think it's the same. I think like, you know, that feeling of failing and that feeling of success. Well, you know, when you get there, it's kind of the same. Like, you know, you're gonna go through these hardships. You're gonna go through, you know, not really able to see that light at the tunnel, but it's right there, you know, if you just look up. So stay motivated, y'all. It's a lot of information, I know, but or you could go to, you know, you can go to a university and, you know, spend 4 years learning what you're learning in 2 weeks. It's up to you. Spend a couple thousand, meet people, you know, hang out, get drunk. You want to do that. Or you could just, you know, spend 2 weeks, learn real hard, repeat this information for 6 months straight and just go get you some money, like, and then go travel.
I'll take the second one for 500, Alex.
Yes. Nobody want to go to there. I mean, if you young and you want to experience that, yeah. But what I've learned is life is
College
about.
is the biggest scam in the world today.
Oh, yes. I mean, unless you like, you know, want to become like, you know, a neurosurgeon or something, then yeah, go to college. You know, I only want the college ones to work on my brain, but I want to do something.
Only way college is good is if you're going for free. If you're on scholarship, great. Otherwise, it's a scam.
Yeah. Oh, not unless it's STEM. Oh, yeah. The science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Yeah. I mean, I think that's really all it should be about, really. If you go to school, it's only STEM. Like, I went to school for culinary, and I feel like I could have just, you know, continued doing what I was doing. School didn't teach me anything but how the French do stuff. You know, so I learned bâtonnet and julienne cut and chiffonage. Like, I learned these keywords that's like, oh, I do this at Chipotle, right? Because my food days low key started at Chipotle. You know, I kind of went up there, I became the kitchen manager, you know, almost went into being general manager to being a restaurateur, which, you know, haters gonna hate. So whatever, I went around, did my thing. But I mean, what they teach you in culinary school is the same stuff you learn at freaking working at a restaurant. I'm like, dang, I just signed this loan, that took out these loans. It's freaking, you know, all these loans. But whatever, you know, at least I got out first year. So I don't have that much debt. I think I'm in debt like 35,000. I didn't even go to full year. Actually, I went half the year. I had like a scholarship because, you know, sometimes I'm smart. So I had like a little, I think they get that scholarship to everybody. It was like a grant, Pell Grant. They get it to everybody. So I'm not even gonna say it's me being smart. They get it to folks, and you know, that helped. But I don't think you should go to college for arts. I think arts is something that you just live. You go to school for, like you said, STEM, you know, science, technology, engineering, math. And school can be whatever, you know, you deem it to be. It don't have to be a university where a professor is teaching you. You know, it could be someone who is a subject matter expert in that field teaching you at your living room. So that's cool too. That's how my kids gonna go to school. They're gonna be, I'm like, I'm gonna teach y'all how to code right here. But yeah, I'm done, y'all. I'm rambling. That's what happens when I'm done teaching. Let me clear out this. Oh yeah, y'all get this blockchain code, and you can read through it, see what I did to kind of branch off. Because we definitely will start making cryptocurrencies and our own type of private blockchains. Probably putting all our blockchains together to create some type of hybrid blockchain, right? So cool. So much we can do. Let me stop here. It's probably gonna take a minute to get the replay because this is a long one and my computer's been slow. So bear with me, y'all. But if y'all need anything, reach out. Okay.
Will do. But
All
also
right, will do. Thank you.
dump some data off of your computer on an external hard drive. That'll free up some resources and make your computer run faster as well.
So I try to do it to the cloud. I try to just upload everything to the cloud instead of externally, but I guess I'm gonna have to try another route.
Yeah, that'll be your best bet because the cloud is good, but it takes time and it's taking data. And with all the programs I saw you had running and simultaneously at once, and you trying to code. But let me ask you this: what model machine do you have?
I have, as far as the processor is Intel.
But I mean, is it i5 or i7?
i7.
What kind of gigabyte speed do you have on the RAM?
Ooh, not much. I gotta look that up. Let me see.
Well, if it's 8 GB, that's part of your problem.
Oh no, definitely not no 8 GB. I paid a pretty penny for this computer, so they're gonna give me some. I mean, where we at?
Because you can go in the control panel and
Yeah. Let's see.
look
Where we at? Storage. Oh, I used up all my freaking system storage.
told you.
228 gigabytes.
Yeah, you gotta move. I told you gotta
Okay,
move some data. You gotta do dumping. Told you.
It was
So
that my Android Studio. I should have freaking.
Yeah, you may want to run that off of an external drive instead of your computer too. That might be the lick. Because if it's a beefed up bossy machine, it should be a solid state drive you can buy. It'll run like it's just on your computer anyway.
Right,
and it'll be faster and take up a lot less data.
Okay.
Can we download all of these programs onto an external hard drive that we're using?
Yep. Should.
Okay, so they won't be on the computer, they'll be on the external hard drive and won't work when it's plugged up.
Yep, but I would advise utilizing a solid state hard drive. And with just any of these machines, with just the work that we're going to be doing, period, you want to take into consideration your processor and the amount of RAM you're using. Because I tell anybody, because I do video, and with video, the bare minimum you want in your computer is, in my opinion, is an i7, the bare minimum 16 gigabytes of RAM, and with a very powerful video card. Unfortunately, with the coding stuff, the video card won't be so bad, but you definitely want a very strong processor and a lot of RAM, and you want to go ahead and break bread on the computer because it's going to pay for itself in the long run. So
you so right. I got 8 gigabytes.
Yeah, I knew what you were. I knew it had to be 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Oh
when you
my
were saying.
God.
But what kind of computer is it?
Expensive for no reason computer.
Well, what expensive? Is it an Alienware? Is it something like that? Because
it's a Samsung. It's yeah, I got it because I told you I got it because it was pretty and it had the touch screen with the pen, and it was real nice. Yeah. And yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You definitely want to, plenty of
I'm
RAM.
Gonna sell this. Once I realize I can't download, can't really use my Android Studio, which is just that's a no-go. I need that. I can't use this computer. Like, So I'm about to I'm gonna be on the market looking for a computer because I don't want this one no more. You know, I'm gonna sell it or resell it, sell it back to them. I don't know. Yeah, I need to. Dang, yes. And I used up 7.86.
Yeah, you got
Okay.
you gotta
So yeah.
yeah, that i7 is good, but I mean it just all depends. If you can update that Samsung, that'll give you a nice little RAM boost. Like if you can add some more RAM to it, I'm not sure the upgrade capabilities of it. Whether is it a laptop or is it a desktop?
No, it's a laptop. Yeah. No
Well, you
desktop for
can
me.
upgrade the RAM into it, but it just depends on how if you want to take it that far. That probably might be cheaper
Yeah.
than getting another computer altogether. But honestly, with the stuff that you're doing, the applications that you're running, you may want to just bite the bullet and buy an Alienware computer.
And I saw them. My work computer is it is i7. It's one of those like ThinkPads, but it still works better with Android Studio and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, just bite the bullet, get an Alienware
Yeah.
because the Alienware is,
You know how
though
much
they're
them things
pricey,
are?
that's basically a gaming computer. But the thing about it is, you got what you need to run the applications, and they're
Yeah.
upgradable to 32 or even 60, in some cases 64 gigabytes of RAM. You got an i7 or i9 processor, and the video card on it is
Yeah, the
5.5.
graphics cards is crazy.
So
Yeah, I know
you
them
know,
chips are nice.
so and you talking about all these applications, this new next level stuff. There's no excuse why you shouldn't have a next level computer to do what it
I
is you need
know.
to do it. So you just go and bite the bullet. And besides, and another thing, the beautiful thing about it too is that if you're operating a business, which I know you are, that's an expense. So that Alienware that you can write that off of tax time. So that
Oh yeah.
3,000, that 30, 20, 35, 4 grand for that Alienware, it'll hurt on the front end, but it'll definitely help you on the back end when it comes to reductions. So
Oh yeah, definitely. My computer I have now definitely was a write-off. My boyfriend, he do taxes, so he do all of
yeah,
that. We like write that all off.
yeah.
Uh,
So just go ahead and bite the bullet and go and buy your Alienware and go from there.
all right, I will. I see that. I saw them at Best Buy one time, and I'm like, dang, that price.
Yeah, the
Ooh,
price sucks. The price sucks. Now, of course,
ooh.
they have some other options. You can shop around because I know Aces, or if you really, want to get you one of those MSI gaming computers. Those things are super balls,
Mm,
but they super expensive. But you
yeah.
got what you need. That's for sure. So
Okay, I'll look into it. Thanks. I'll definitely do a little research on that side.
yeah. So it's roughly realistically on the low end, you're gonna spend about 2,500, but you can spend as much as maybe 4 or 5 grand, on a really good
I
laptop. Because
saw them. They
actually,
was 2,700. I'm like, on the low end.
yeah, that's on the low end. Because like when
No
you spec it
sir.
out with the top of the line stuff, you're gonna get you know, you're gonna get a computer that actually lasts. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yes, you sending gaming
yeah,
computers.
yeah. This MSI didn't. Okay, now this one's actually pretty decent. They only want $12.99 for it.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
MSI Katana. Yeah, that's actually
I
yeah.
don't know
That
nothing about the MSI, so I might
no,
have
that's what I'm
to.
saying. The MSI is basically a gaming computer, and it's very high quality, very strong, and very durable.
Mm.
So you get one of these bad boys. They're basically Alienware's competition. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So if you get an MSI at a good price, then you're doing good.
Okay. Cool.
But like I
Look.
said, you can do some research on some, like really just type gaming computers and or best gaming computer for the budget. Because like I said, you can look up and find one for like this 1,300, 1,500 if you're lucky. But honestly, realistically, you want to just kind of budget between 25 or even as much as 5 grand and then go from
Ooh.
there. So
Ooh. All right. So I gotta invest in myself.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, you got these high dollar clients and you bringing in 120, 130 on one end and 60 on the other end. I mean, you gonna
That's gross. That's gross. That's
yeah,
gross.
that's
You
gross.
know.
But the thing is, you don't want to stop that well-oiled machine. Honestly, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
my logic would be, okay, I'm going to buy this big boss Alienware, but then I'm going to have this backup over here in case this one crashes. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna invest, you know. I mean, when we're talking about buying stuff, that's where liquid comes in at, you know. So I don't have
Yeah.
that in liquid. I have that in you know, in
No, I
my
understand in cash, you know, in crypto, but again, you know, you liquefy it, you do what you got to do for business, and it's gonna write off anyway. You'll be able to write it off. So there's a cost of doing business. And
well,
besides, you
you
don't want to
know,
be sitting up there working on a code and that sucker crashes. You know what I'm saying?
yes, who you telling, you know. Um, yeah, you're right, you know, because it's about to get intense. I've just been doing like slight work, really. So that's why I'm like, dang, I have to download this and I can't even, you know,
Yeah.
use
So
it.
like with them applications, especially when you create an app, instead of those heavy that take up a lot of space and take a lot of processing power,
Yes.
you want a powerhouse machine, especially with crypto, the crypto stuff, man. Like, cause I know this because again, I do video, and the thing with video, especially when you're editing video, is rendering. And rendering, you want a very fast processor, you want solid state everything, you want top-notch RAM, top-notch processor, and really a top-notch video card to take away some of the processing power away from the desktop, the regular processors. So, and it's the same thing with them applications, because now you understand why the white boys, they have like those big old Alienware, those really super, those hackers really have those powerful computers because they know what time it is too. So we know different. You got to have the right stuff. You know, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You know?
So true.
You could sell your
Okay.
laptop too and put some of that money towards the new purchase.
Yeah, I was thinking that
That
too.
part.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna
That
have
part.
to put this up on Facebook Marketplace and see what
Yeah,
they're gonna
because
give
you can
me.
just wipe it clean, put a fresh image on it, and yeah, you know, somebody will pay for it. And you could take that money, and that way you don't have to liquefy as much, and then go from there and buy you a Alienware MSI, or you know, you just want something that's really strong or really powerful,
Yeah.
because that you know, 8 GB. Come on now.
I know, I
This is
know. I
what
didn't
I be
even pay
trying
it
to tell. That's
attention.
what I be trying to tell my family. Anybody that buy these laptops, I'm like, or desktops, like, what you doing buying this? And you know, and it's funny because I've done, you know, I do computer repair too, so it's like I can drop a solid, and it's funny because I never really paid attention to it, but when you drop a solid state hard drive into just an old laptop, it brings it to life, man. Like it's like night and day. You know what I'm saying? Like it's 10 times faster. You do like you put some RAM and a solid state hard drive in it. It's like a new machine. Because I turned my auntie's old computer, like the little, just barely 8 GB. I maxed it out to RAM and I put a solid state hard drive in it. I mean, just like, oh, this fast.
That was on a
Yeah.
laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I
So
haven't did anything on the laptop. My day stopped at desktop. So yes, I do know just pumping in, you know, RAM cards in there, making sure changing out the video
yeah,
graphics card. Like I know to
yeah,
make something, you know, make the outside, you know, may be like, oh, it's an older computer, but I just ramped it up on the inside. And
yeah. But
yeah.
that's the secret now. Just like, and just anybody in the class, you got an older computer, and the key to doing it is, number one, knowing the computer that you have, because generally speaking, you probably bought it from a Best Buy or something like that. So you
Yeah.
can just Google the computer model, and then what you're Googling, you put in the computer model, and it says maximum RAM capacity, and then it'll tell you, it'll give you all the specs of the machine. So you know, okay, I can add X amount of RAM to it, and then the kicker, and what's really going to give you greater performance, just even with, let's just say you're just updating your laptop, is buying a solid state hard drive. Now, the reason why those SSDs or solid state hard drives cost extra is because they're way faster and they're way worth it. I didn't think so for the longest either. I was like, man, why am I going to sit up here and pay $200 for this hard drive when this $100 hard drive is going to give me more space? Man, now I'm like, man, give me a solid state. I'll take a solid state with less space over a non-solid state with more space, because that solid state, it performs, there's a lot less moving parts, and it's like night and day. So
okay. So you got me thinking about some things now.
But to be honest with you, like I said, you could take you can do one or two things. One, just buy you a really good solid state hard drive for your laptop. Look up the specs of your current laptop and see what's the maximum RAM capacity, and then you can just buy your RAM and solid state hard drive, and that'll instantly boost your performance and allow you to do the better functions and perform better all the way around. Or two, just bite the bullet, buy the Alienware MSI or the very strong gaming computer. And you know, like the other classmates suggested, use that to pay for it, or just still do what I suggested at first by beefing it up, but keeping that one as a backup, because you know, Murphy's Law, stuff happens, and
Yes.
you will be working on that first $50,000 contract, and your computer crash. But if you got your other computer over here, you know what I'm saying, you can keep it rolling. So
exactly. Oh, yes. So I got a lot to think about, because I was just gonna get another computer, but you got me looking at actually putting, you know, a little more money with it. So I'm probably gonna ask this for a Christmas present. Like, hey, y'all should get together and get me a laptop, you know?
well, like I said, for what you're doing and the applications that you're running, I would, in my opinion, based on the money you're bringing in, what's at stake, and what you're doing, me personally, I would just buy the gaming computer and call it a day. That way, you know what I'm saying? But I would still keep your current laptop, but still beef it up. Like, just put your solid state into it. I would bet money that Samsung could probably take either 16 gigabytes or maybe even 32 gigabytes of RAM, just max it out on RAM, and buy you a couple of like solid state external terabyte hard drives, maybe like a 2 terabyte or 4 terabyte, whatever. And you can run your applications off of those. And that will, you know, take away from the, you know, the utilizing so much resource on the computer itself. So.
All right. I'm gonna see. You know, don't think I got all this money. I may do got something, get a little change in my pocket, but I pay bills, y'all, you know.
Well, we all pay bills, but at the same time, you know, you're a businesswoman. At the end of the day, any business owner, you want to put money into the business to keep it going. So
I know. That's why I'm trying to find some like funding, because I'm funding my own business out my own pocket, which is the number one rule to not do. So if y'all know some funding I can do. I mean, I got some funded stuff. I haven't did a whole business plan. I need a SWOT analysis. Like, dang, y'all need a whole bunch to give me some money. And then business credit. I'm just working on my credit. My credit is nasty. So yeah, we gonna get it together, okay?
Guys, time, focus, and these tech jobs. Let's go.
Exactly. So yeah, let me get off of here so I can upload this replay. Hold on, who said something in here? They have some, you could do payments. Yeah, I do like being payment plan, and then I'd be upset I gotta pay the remainder balance. So I'll try to stay away from payment plans. But yeah, y'all, let's break here. And then tomorrow at 12, or did we say 6? I think we said 6. Yes, yes, 6. At around 12 o'clock, I'll remind everybody that we changed the time. And if somebody wants to come in, we could just talk, you know, a little bit that we can. But yeah, 6 is class tomorrow. I'll send out a little update. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and get this money. So talk to y'all later.
All right, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.